Is this finally it? Is this the Skyrim killer?
Look, we just have to get this over and done with.
Shall I deal with them?
Allow me.
I picked up Tainted Grail Fall of Avalon on early access demo, got extremely excited, and then forgot about it. Between then and now we've seen Baldur's Gate 3, Expedition 33, but most importantly, especially for first-person open-world sandbox RPG lovers, we got...
Alright, well if you two fucking hobnobs are done laughing and giggling...
Yes, Oblivion Remastered. Well, I got just about enough hours in Unreal Oblivion for the level scaling to make me want to put my Xbox in a blender.
Gosh, going! Oh my god!
So, it's time to take a look at Tainted Grail Fall of Avalon. I've put a couple hours in now, and let me tell you, it's janky, it's a little awkward, the combat doesn't always flow nicely, so as far as I'm concerned, as a big Elder Scrolls fan, it's spot on, it's great. Is this the big AAA threat that's been looming in the shadows for months, waiting to snatch the crown from the fallen king? Not really, but that's the beauty of it. This isn't trying to be Skyrim 2.0, it's carving out its own grim, blood-soaked path through the genre, and that's exactly why I think Tainted Grail Fall of Avalon deserves your attention. There are some obvious parallels to draw between Tainted Grail, the Fall of Avalon, and its AAA predecessors in the Elder Scrolls, but I'd like to talk about what it's doing differently that I enjoy personally. First off, mechanically, the item wheel loadouts are handy and don't make me scroll through an item wheel for a minute and a half in the middle of combat, which I like. It saves the player a lot of time and it keeps you in the action. The dash dodge mechanic, this is exactly what Bethesda needs to be looking at implementing for the Elder Scrolls 6. A cheeky dodge, a naughty little dodge will spice up Bethesda's combat formula massively. This game's aesthetic is for some reason nostalgic. It almost feels like an edgy, over-the-top PS2 game. It's sort of reminiscent of like Dark Souls, but it still feels very, very Elder Scrolls to me, and I can't really pin down why. The gore lends this game a very distinct feel to anything Bethesda's done outside of maybe the Dawnguard DLC or Oblivion's Dark Brotherhood questline. This game is not afraid to put some nasty shit up on your screen, and I have a lot of respect for that. It's a good way to make the world feel grounded, and even if the graphics aren't top shelf, some parts are just straight heavy metal, which isn't my thing, but I do like it here. They have a really fun aesthetic going on, something that can keep me drawn in and just engaged. But underneath all that, you'll find something kind of heartfelt and passionate that's been made for people like you and me. It's a similar feeling I had maybe stepping into Morrowind for the first time. It's clunky, it's mysterious, it's dark and strangely personal. This is a lower budget indie title, so the voice acting doesn't always land and the graphics will be less than what you're used to if you've been playing Call of Duty for the past 10 years, but it also does things like, there was a bad bit of voice acting exploring the first zone, and...
No, come off it.
When I went to fight these bandits, they were called desperate peasants, man, and it just... Oh!
Hello there.
That's dark. So while this game doesn't hold the AAA production quality some people might be used to, and although it's doing a lot of things, a similar format and a similar gameplay loop, and a similar style we've seen before, it's not for a long time, and it's presenting these same things in a very creative way. It's giving some really fun gameplay elements, a world that makes me want to explore, which is kind of hard to find these days. This game really feels handcrafted, like a medieval dungeon crawler fused with Dark Souls and a splash of Elder Scrolls. You can feel the dev team's passion bleeding through the seams, and that counts for more than just the flashy cinematics and perfect polish it may or may not have. It's gritty, it's grounded, and it's intentionally original. To summarise, so I went into this expecting to find that Skyrim killer, expecting to find something that would attempt to stand shoulder to shoulder with the RPG giant, but instead I've found a game that stands on its own merits, What I've found instead is something endearingly original, something that's built carefully and with pride, and although I'm only in the early stages of the game, I'm utterly enthralled. I love exploring every nook and cranny and corner of the world so far. How you can take King Arthur and Camelot and put it across in such a way that it's not corny, and there's a lot of sort of stereotypical fantasy tropes here, but they're just so well presented that I can overlook the jagged edges of this game and I can see potential, excitement and hours of enjoyment. It feels like a real gem. You know, a diamond, not even in the rough, because the combat, although it's janky, it's a lot of fun. And it's challenging, the world feels dangerous. The exploration loop, for the first time in a while in a game, has had me exploring and like, you know, I've got stuff that I'm meant to be doing and I'm just sat down exploring this game. I sit down and grab some footage for this video and I just got lost in it. And it, you know, as an older gamer especially, it's been a while since something's been able to pull me in like that and hold my attention. I'm still in the first zone. These are just first impressions, but I am overwhelmingly impressed with what they've managed to pull together here. Awakened Realms, Questline Studios, massive well done. I know there's already a lot of people covering this game and a lot out there about it already. If you enjoy Bethesda games, I can't recommend this enough. Honestly, when you've got enough money to give yourself a little treat, check it out. You know, try the demo. Bear in mind, a lot of improvements have been made. It really is, so far, a blast. Yeah, that's it. I've been gaming Limbo, and at the minute, I highly recommend to any RPG lovers, any big Bethesda fans, anyone who misses the Elder Scrolls single-player focused games, and is just trying to make the wait for the 6th entry of the series a little bit easier, I highly recommend Tainted Grail, Fall of Avalon. Is it the Skyrim killer? No. But that's the beauty of it. It really is an incredible game that stands on its own 2 feet with its own merits. I hope you can find the time to enjoy it. Try the demo, but I will say the game is vastly improved from what you see in the demo, in feel and in content. The opening hours of the game are a lot better than what's presented in the free demo. But yeah, I've been gaming Limbo. This is a small channel, we're just starting out. A like and a subscribe will go a long way for me. If you want more Tainted Grail, Fall of Avalon content, if you want Bethesda content, I'm going to do my best to try and keep on top of it. Have a good week and have a good weekend. I hope you're having a good time. Bye.
Shall I deal with them?
Allow me.